I think everybody probably needs a reminder on, so let this be your reminder. What does your soul need? Not your career, not social life, nothing like that. Like just you, your soul. Different opportunities coming from different places, and you get sucked into it, but then you forget to like build yourself, like your own life. Everyone always needs to be doing soul searching things.
Because there's so much that we can do now, and there's so much information at our fingertips that we get into like this paralysis mode where we're like, but we could be doing so many things to be growing and evolving or traveling or doing all these things. We just see other people doing their own niche, their own hobbies, and you're like, is that for me? Like, I don't know, what am I doing? It's easy to get caught in that spiral. I've definitely been there in different phases of my life, but now I will catch it and be able to like change something. And there's like a little celebration where I'm like, ooh, I'm growing as a person. Work on that in the material world.
Pull up a chair. You're sitting at the table with Powerhouse Women, the podcast where bold women in business come to connect, collaborate, and build something bigger than themselves. We always say, if you're fortunate to have a seat at the table, pull up 3 more. That's exactly what we're doing here.
This isn't just a conversation, it's a movement. We're creating space at the table for conversations that matter. The ones that challenge you, push you, and remind you that you do not have to do this alone.
Every episode, we're talking growth, success, and the real, unfiltered truths of entrepreneurship. No gatekeeping,
no fluff, just the perspective and community that you need to thrive. So if you're ready to surround yourself with women who get it, you're in the right place, and there is already a seat with your name on it.
What's up, powerhouses? Welcome back to another episode of At the Table.
This conversation I'm so excited for because it's about spontaneity, freedom, whether we're building a business that truly allows us to have that, and if we're taking advantage of it.
Yeah, and we definitely are or trying to be. I was just telling Morgan about a situation that just came up, just kind of presented itself to me, and I feel like the way I'm handling it is very different than how Morgan would. And we kind of want to dive into a little bit about like our versions of work-life balance, so to speak.
Yes, I can't wait to hear about Mallorca.
Yeah, so my sister called me the other day and like literally on Saturday and was just like, I know this is super last minute, but I had some situations that cleared up with work and I'm going to Mallorca next Sunday. Do you want to come with me? And I was like, yes, because I've been like so depressed all summer that I don't have a Euro trip booked because I just need one. Like, I feel like going to Europe in the summer just like heals my soul. And last summer when I was there, it was just like the absolute best time of my life. So I need to go every summer. It's just like, I'm making sure of that moving forward in my life. But this summer, all of my friends, everyone has like different schedules and what they're when they're able to go and what they're doing. Like I have friends going to a wedding, so obviously I'm not going to go with them and yada, yada. So I've been like upset about it. My sister knew that and she asked me to go last minute. Immediately, I'm like, yes, because like I need to go. But then I was like, shit. Like I have so much going on work-wise. I have like a bunch of deals closing within the next 2 weeks that like, I guess I don't technically need to be present for, but like if there's any issues, I don't want to be overseas and have to deal with that when like the time zones are different, everything like that. So I started panicking. And then it just kind of like ruined my whole excitement about being spontaneous because I think deep down inside, I want to be spontaneous and I have that part of me. Like I can really go with the flow and I can be a very spontaneous person, but it terrifies me when I have like such important things happening. And I feel like you are so different.
I'm definitely very different. I love the spontaneity, and especially with travel, I'm like, I want to go anywhere. But I'm definitely the kind of person where I'm like, fuck it, book it, like we'll figure it out. I will make it work. I have systems and I trust myself enough to figure it out. And I'm definitely the type of person, my dad always called me a fiery and ready person. I know the rough goal that I want to go for, and I just start. And I will figure it out and tweak it, and I'm willing to fail in order to figure out the path to go. So I feel like that is a big reason that I've put myself, especially in travel situations, where I'm like, it might not be the right move, but it probably is the best move for like my life and experience. So I'll figure it out. And I always do.
Yeah, I really like am jealous of that mindset because I think like just overall I get stressed more so because I'm like a one woman show. So I don't really have anyone on the back end like managing things for me while I'm gone. I can definitely like maybe have one person like kind of fill in for me if I need to for like showings, but in terms of like handling crazy situations, I don't trust anybody to do that but myself. And just like where I'm at with like my systems and everything, I'm currently kind of gearing into a more structured system, but I'm still a one woman show. So they still can't handle the things that like I need to be present for. And that feels super limiting. And I think the whole point of being an entrepreneur is to create a life of freedom for yourself. But that does look different for everybody. And I do think that like maybe it takes time to get to, and not everyone talks about that. Like, I do feel like on a day to day, I do have more freedom than anybody with like a 9 to 5 where they're like bound to an office job and they have to be in at a certain time. Like, obviously, we have more flexibility than that. But going away for a week and being in a different time zone, or actually 2 weeks, and being in a different time zone, like I'll do that all day long. But it's like if I have like crazy situations going on at work where I don't feel like things have calmed down yet, it's so anxiety inducing. And like I don't want to go away and try to enjoy myself and like have annoying anxiety things in the back burner. I'm sure that can be like
Yeah.
relatable to a lot of people. It's not.
You kind of nailed it with, for the majority of people, it takes time, especially in entrepreneurship, to get to the point where you're like truly enjoying the freedom or all the freedom that you have. At the beginning of my career, like you just have to take on everything. You don't get to choose as much. You don't get to work with the specific clients you want. Like I'm in such a different position now, 10 years later, and I know it will only get better and like niched further. But my like spontaneous trips are so much different now. Like I still traveled, I still said, yes, we're going to figure it out when we were young. But I was also up really late because we're on the opposite time zone and I'm working on my deals because I'm a one woman show too. Now we're having virtual assistants, we have full built out systems, we have TCs. I work with DeAndre and having two of us just helps. But
You're also
like
traveling with him most of the
and
time.
we travel together. And our last like spontaneous Monaco trip, when we went to the Grand Prix with some friends and clients, that was such a good perspective for us because same thing, it was spontaneous. That's an expensive freaking trip. And it was not one that we were planning. So we were like, we gotta go though. It's an awesome opportunity with the right types of people, some of our clients and friends. And it just put it in a perspective because when we went, we were there for about 2.5, almost 3 weeks. And the people that we met and the relationships that we had that we went with got so much closer. And because we live so cohesively and have been for so long, over a decade in this area, I will say at a young age helps too. That like we came back with 5 million in volume to list. Like we had better relationships, new relationships that translated because we're all living our life in the same experience way and value the same things and invest in the same things. And so now it's cool because it's just like it all meshes together and it feels less like I'm leaving things behind and more like I'm meeting the right people that are either going to just be friends, which is awesome, or translate even into business because it's so cohesive now.
100%.
But that takes time, a lot of time.
It does. And it's like you also have to like form that type of business situation, like that the fact that like half of your clients are your friends too, and like you are able to travel together. I will say like most of my clients are my friends, but like I have tons of random clients that I've met throughout just being in the business too, that like maybe some have become friends or stuff like that. But I don't think like it's like fully at that point yet. Even if my clients are my friends, I'm not necessarily like traveling with everybody.
Yeah.
So, but like, yeah, that's like the dream for it all to mesh together. You're also in a market, I will say, that you can pretty much travel anywhere to, and like you live in like a destination. I'm not gonna say Jersey isn't one, but it's like not. Like,
it's for different kind of like vacations that go Jersey. Like
yeah, I mean, look,
totally
where I
different.
live, specifically in Jersey, it is like in the summertime, people are coming here to have fun, like, and go out and have a vacation.
Oh yeah. No, your summers look dreamy.
Yeah, they're amazing. It's like, it's really like just like another option from like going to like the Hamptons or like Cape Cod, or like it's just one of those East Coast destinations. But like I live here year round, so I just don't like fully see it like that. But other people do. Like I have tons of people that are like, "Oh, I'm going to the Jersey Shore that week." And it's like, "Oh, like I just like live here, so I don't really like think of it like that, you know?"
Yeah, you're like, that's just Tuesday.
Yeah. But it really is a destination. It's wonderful here, and things are changing so much. But yeah, with that being said, I feel like I still haven't like booked my trip or anything like that yet. I'm trying to like work out the kinks and like figure everything out. I'm supposed to have all my closings be done before I leave, and all my closings are seller closings, so I don't even go to those. So I technically can leave. It's more of like, I just don't want any problems. I just want to go away for like 2 weeks and truly turn off, because I think I need that. I need a little bit of a reset. And I think that's what I struggle with the most, is truly turning off. Like last summer, I did that when I went to Ibiza.
Yeah.
It was planned. And it was like, I knew about it so far in advance, and I was able to tell my clients, no, I'm gone for this time. Everybody knew about it. Like I was able to work around things. When it's so last minute, I'm probably going to miss a few things that I need to be like, I have an event next Wednesday. If I leave next Tuesday, I'm not going to that event. Like things like that. Like it just kind of like super spontaneous and like feels very rogue, but I feel like my soul needs this.
Yes. I think we all need spontaneity, and maybe at different levels for different types of people. I totally get that. But I think everybody needs a little bit of it, because you need to just let yourself be free and figure it out. Like we need to have moments where we're bored and we need to get over it. We need to have moments where there's contention and we have to like grow and get through it or communicate. And I think spontaneity, especially with travel, like forces you into situations to do that. And I think that's why so many of us that start traveling get the bug and keep doing it, because we change our perspective every time we keep traveling.
Exactly.
And then we can come back to our business and be like, we're going to hit the ground running, and we're coming in with this new energy, or we have this new idea. Or we met somebody in Monaco, and all of a sudden we're like, oh, you have a marketing brain that's different on like a travel, like worldwide scope, not just like a US or specifically Arizona real estate scope. And we were like, ooh, we're going to have a few consultation calls with you, even just as like an eye-opening, what can we learn and soak up and like evolve from a human and a business owner standpoint.
Yeah, that's so dope. I also feel like when you're presented with the right opportunity to travel with like the right people and like what you plan to do with it, like the trip that you had planned, it was like so aligned because it's with like the right people, clients, friends, the right group. For me, like that's like the most important thing for me. Is like I don't want to just travel with anybody. I'm like very particular with who I travel with. Want to make sure that like we want to do the same things, we're aligned, or else it's just going to be like miserable. I was like contemplating actually solo traveling, which I have never done ever in my life.
I highly recommend.
I was contemplating it, but I just like I didn't like feel like 100% the push. Like I don't know, like I think I should do it, and this is like the time in my life to do it. But I've been wanting to, but I never like just fully went to do it, because it's not like what I 100% would prefer to do. I would much rather go with at least like one other person. But my sister, like, I mean, it couldn't be better. Like we know what we want to do. We want to do the exact same thing. And it's so much easier to go with like one other person than to go with like a big group and everybody wants to do different things, or even just two other people where like someone's not on the same page and it's just not going to be great. So
that's something that we learned. DeAndre and I have never gone on group trips. We always go like with each other, or we've done solo trips like before each other. This was the first big group. We started the trip on our own, like met up with people for a week and a half during the Grand Prix, and we had the events and actually watching the race, of course. So we were meeting up for different types of events. I will say that was hard. Not only is Monaco just hard to travel at that point, so that's its whole thing. But travel, we had like 12, 14 of us during that period.
it's a lot.
It's a lot. Like
There's so many personalities.
So, and a lot of us, like, we're all friends. We know each other from different, there were a few new people that came in from other people, you know, just a mesh of personalities. You're traveling at this trip, you're like party, yacht, boat, sun, back to a party, no
Club,
sleep,
other club.
cool. And you're like exhausted. You have bold personalities clashing. You have you always have something weird with bathrooms in Europe, and like just different things pop up that you have to get over. And we both left and we're like, okay, no more group trips. We will meet you guys there, but we're no longer going to stay in the same house with you. Like, we did learn that.
That's like my biggest thing is like I'm mostly traveling with groups of friends.
Yeah, you do.
I'm always with large groups. And so I'm very used to it. And like I'm kind of like good at it. Like I know what to expect. So I know what I'm going into, but it doesn't mean that like I prefer it. It is a lot. I will say last year when I did my Ibiza trip there was 10 of us in Ibiza, like that's a lot. We were there for 7 days. Like just if you know Ibiza, you're not supposed to go there for 7 days. Like you're just not.
No.
And majority of it was all people like I'm best friends with. There was like a couple, very few, maybe like one person that like was a newer friend, but like usually those newer people are like the easiest going people, and it's like the best friends are the ones that like just have differing opinions about things. And the trip was truly amazing, but like towards the end we all just started getting like fatigued with each other. Like everyone wanted to do different things. We were all not on the same page, and there was like I wish that it was filmed, because it was like a reality TV show with like my friend group of just like the dumbest fights and the dumbest arguments that like I still think are funny today. Like me and Gianna, my best friend that you know, like we do not fight. We never fight, but like it just got to that point, like no sleep and just being together where like I was just annoyed. I don't even remember why. She asked me if she could borrow something and I was rude about it. And it's just like after a long time with a lot of people, it just becomes a lot.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Being presented with just going with my sister, I'm like, this is like the easiest thing. I mean, she might not agree with me on that. Like my sister and I, we're sisters. We're gonna be sisters. To me, that's like a nothing thing.
No.
Because me and my sister have an argument. I'm just like, okay, let's move along. 2 seconds later, I'm like, you want to go?
Yeah, you figured out, like, you know how to communicate. You know how, like, when you're being mean or you're being stern, they know how to either take it or just be like, okay, well, how are we going to get over this? Like,
my sister doesn't though. She like does it. She like can't handle it. Like I can. I can move on like it was nothing. She doesn't like. She's like, we cannot argue at all. I'm like, well, that's kind of impossible. I don't know how to like,
especially with Marli.
I don't know you in my life as someone that I do not argue with. Like it's just like, I mean, we are 2 years apart, me and my sister.
Me and my sister are 3. Like those are
very close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have the overlaps from like junior high to high school, and those like situations where you overlapped enough. It was, there was like a 10-year stint where it was just fight.
Yeah. Pretty much until I went to college. Now our arguments are like so dumb, but we're still there. I mean, on our last family vacation, she asked me to take a picture of her on the beach, and I said no, and then she didn't talk to me for 3 days.
That's funny.
And so like things like that. But the thing is like I'll deal with that all day rather than like tension in a friend group, you know, like because my sister has to love me. Well, I guess not technically has to, but you know what I mean, built in.
Yes. And I don't like silent, like you can feel the tension, especially in a group of people. If I can feel it one-on-one, I can let things cool down and then like approach it with whatever. When it's in a group, I'm sitting there and I'm just anxious because I'm like, what's going to happen first? So I'm like, do I have to figure out what to say to like help? And then my brain is stuck and I freeze. And usually something else happens and I'm like, damn it, I should have beat that. Mine would have been a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. And not to like completely like go full left field here with this conversation about traveling with groups, but like bachelorette parties are like a whole other ball game, and I feel like that's the majority of like the group traveling I do.
I've gone zero.
Someone else's group of friends. It's like you might have like your crew within that whole crew, but it's like the other people that aren't really your friends. Be like, you're friendly, like obviously we're all here for the same person, we all love the same person, but oh, that's a lot. And that's like truly that's a whole episode. But I think I'm like slowly trickling out of that. Luckily, we're like pretty much most of my friends are married, and there's a few people that aren't, but like no one's getting engaged anytime soon, so we have some
Yeah.
time. So I can take a break from that for a bit. But those are the tricky ones where like I think it takes a lot out of me and like just my energy in general.
It's
Where like
exhausting.
it really is, and that kind of makes me want to do less group traveling, and I just want to be with like one other person. And like truly, it would be like much easier for me if I just was like I had a man and we could travel together and we were on the same page and it's easier.
Yep.
But that's not the situation right now.
Not right now. So we're leaning into spontaneous sister travel.
Yeah. And then maybe after that, maybe my sister's like a master like solo traveler. Like she was planning on going alone. Now she wants me to come, but she's going to stay longer than me. So she's going to be traveling alone, and she has like friends in random places. So like she will meet up. I think that's the thing for me. Like when she travels alone, she's always like randomly meeting up with people she knows. If I'm traveling alone, I am likely traveling alone. And I just know me, and I feel like that could be a little dangerous.
Yes, especially depending on where you go. When I first started solo traveling, I would do it. I grew up my whole life traveling, so I felt comfortable with it. But my first few on my own, still just like as a young adult, I went to places that I had been to and loved because I was like, I know how to get around. Like I know certain spots that I really like, so I felt like comfortable and got used to it. And then I started traveling like full summers on my own. And then, yeah, I'd go see a few people. That's one of the summers that I traveled. That's when I went and met Gia in Boston. And then I just started like working up the East Coast for a little bit in places that I knew. And then went to Europe and did a few places that I had never traveled before on my own. And I felt like I got my feet wet, felt comfortable doing that. And then I was fine. But I do always select places like Bali, really safe for women to travel.
That's where my sister goes.
Yeah.
That's her place. Yeah.
So those two are awesome. There are definitely other places, but those two I would feel so safe, especially as a single woman.
So when you're going to places solo, are you like meeting new people? Are you like going out with like random like groups of people that you don't know? I feel like that's something I would want to do, but that's where as a woman you do have to be careful.
Yeah. If I'm setting up a solo trip, I usually segment it. I like traveling for like 2 weeks or longer typically. So if I'm doing something in like Europe or like definitely Southeast Asia, I like my Bali trip, I kind of segmented out. So the first week was like lay the land. I would go to some of the beach clubs and if you would like the co-working coffee shops and like meet a few people, just kind of like get settled. And then 1 week I did what's called Lux Week. They do a few different locations in the world and they bring during this 1 week, like 100 people together, like 10 people get segmented into villas and you have your own room or your own setup, but based on like personality tests and like activities and that kind of thing, you get paired up with people from all around the world. And then you have Lux experiences throughout the whole week that are set up for you and you get VIP like nights at some of the clubs or different resorts. And then you have like activities like ATVing, whitewater rafting, some really cool stuff during the day. And you start meeting people that way, which had like similar interests, travel a lot. We still meet with some of our friends that they're from Australia. We met during Lux Week in Bali. We traveled to Mexico together. Like we've now met them all. They've come and stayed at our house. Like we've met some really cool friends doing that. But then the last week we decided to stay and just like do our own thing. And then we met random people when we were out at like different beach clubs and things like that. So I try to schedule a few things that will force me to meet people. And other times that I'm like, if I don't want to, I don't need to. I'll just be there.
I like that. Like there's definitely like tons of things out there like that I've never explored, but there's definitely tons of things like types of program situations that you can like buy into, and you know, it's almost set up for you to meet random people and like connect.
Yeah.
That's probably the point of things like that. I mean, I studied abroad when I was in college, and
that's a great example.
Yeah, like that, but that's like a program that's set up. They have like specific trips too. Like I lived in Barcelona, but throughout the time that I was there, they had like specific trips that you could go on that were like included in the program, I guess. So like we went to like Sevilla, we went to Rome, I think. There was like a few, and then there was a few other types of programs that like you can book with like a group type situation. You don't have to know anybody.
Yeah.
You just get like put with people. And what I think like I made so many friends abroad. I got paired with random roommates and they're still my best friends till this day. Like one
Oh,
of
I
them,
love it.
I was in two of their weddings.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah. So like traveling truly is like the coolest way to connect with people. And I think it would be like so cool to just like really just go alone and like meet new people. But also the idea of going with like my sister and us like meeting
Yeah.
random people and stuff like just feels like aligned and it makes sense. And I hope it works out. I gotta like figure it out and book a flight like ASAP.
Yeah, you gotta work on that. This week is gonna be crunch time for all of that.
I know.
Yeah.
But back to the whole like balancing thing. I'm very intrigued by like your perspective because you've been like this kind of like your whole life, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Have you always been spontaneous, or is that something that you've kind of grown into as you've gotten older and more independent?
I've definitely gotten more spontaneous, but I think I always kind of was. And I think my whole priority in life is how do I get more choice and freedom in my life? And I love what I do. And that's why I think I've niched and focused so hard on it to create that cohesiveness that I was kind of talking about earlier. And so now all these opportunities can pop up and I have the ability and the freedom to choose if it's the right move. And I'm totally willing to make risks. And I just trust myself now that opportunities will pop up, like the Monaco trip. But I was like, all right, this was not one of the things that we were planning for. And we could definitely invest more in the business and we could do all of these other things, which are also smart moves. However, we also love to live life. We love to travel. It's a really cool opportunity. Why wouldn't we? And I feel like everything is just much more cohesive now. That bridge to the answer is so immediate. Like it's a gut feeling now. I trust myself. I know that I can take it. So I just think I can take more opportunities at this point.
Because you've done it. So you gotta just start. Yeah. You gotta just start. I think for me, that's the biggest thing. I don't know why, but I always feel like a blockage to certain spontaneous opportunities. Like I can do whatever I want. I have my own business. I'm single. I make money. Like I can do literally anything. There's absolutely nothing stopping me besides myself. I don't know why I feel like a blockage to it. And that's something that I'm like, I think I just need to like just dive in and do it. And then that'll go away with time and I'll trust myself more. I don't know. I've been like that always. Like I'm more of like, I'm not like a massive risk taker.
I'm a risk taker.
Yeah. I think I'm like, I love to have a good time. I love like all the things that come with being spontaneous, and I love like just kind of expanding my perspective and on things. And like I mean I've traveled my entire life too. Like I've always, but I'm not even just talking about travel. I think in general, just like I'm a very cautious person. I think that that's what it is.
Yeah.
And you are like, yeah, I'll figure that out. Or I'm just gonna do it now, and then I'll like deal with the consequences later.
Yep. I feel like I'm so confident in my ability to pivot. And so I know that even if I say yes to something and then I'm like, oh, this isn't what I expected or what I thought at all. Even like DeAndre and I, when basically our first date was in Bali, we even had like a joking conversation on the plane that we're like, if you're ruining my Bali trip, we can go on, like, you can go on your own trip. We can go to separate sides of the island. Like, you're not ruining my trip for me. Like, I'm never forced or putting myself in a position where I'm forced to, like, see something through if it is the wrong move. Like, I will force myself to see something through, even if it's uncomfortable and I need to grow. But if it's truly the wrong decision or I change my mind or something, like, I'll pivot and I'll leave and I'll make a shift. And I think that helps. I've been in situations young where I made decisions, and maybe it was because, like, Coachella, one of the years that I went, I don't like Coachella. That doesn't work with me. Like, I don't get to leave and get out. I'm stuck. I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And that was one of those decisions that I'm like, well, it was in college. I'm trying everything I can to be as frugal as possible and still do experiences. Got stuck there, couldn't leave. And I was like, I don't want to be in a position like this. I want the opportunity to leave. I want to be able to say, whoops, I made the wrong decision. I'm taking myself out. And I need the freedom aspect.
Yeah, and that comes with experiencing and learning, and also having the means to do those things. Like, obviously, like when you're young and you're like money conscious, like you're not going to just spend anything to like get yourself out of any situation. But when you're older and
Right.
you have the means to, like, you can do anything really,
Yeah.
like, so 100%.
Mhm.
But
And
I
you really
feel like,
realize like time is money. So there are certain things that you can weigh and be like, is it worth me staying here or is it worth me forking over some money and getting the fuck out of here?
summer is my favorite time of the year. I mean, I'm a summer baby. Like, I was born in July, so I feel like that's just like why. But I just feel like it's obviously like where I live is a summer place, but I need to experience something new. I need something
Yeah.
like just I've been like craving something crazy to happen like in my life. Like, I need to create those opportunities for myself instead of just like waiting for it to happen. I don't know, maybe if like, because I was thinking so much about potentially traveling alone and like battling with that in my own mind. I don't know if maybe like I was battling with it because there was an opportunity that was going to fall out of the sky with my sister and that was going to come up. You know what I mean? Like, that probably was meant to happen. Is the timing perfect? No, but it's not like terrible. Like, it's not like I have a
Right.
wedding this week, like I can go. I can make things work. And I'm planning to do that. And sometimes you just need to jump and do it. And then maybe next summer I'll go somewhere by myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's realizing when opportunities come in, they're not always at the ideal time. I think especially at the beginning, like they're almost always at the wrong time and you have to make the decision or you're like, is it a priority of mine? Like, where is it going to be on this list? Once you start taking more opportunities and getting that experience, then they start either being your choice. So you're like, oh, well, I'm going to schedule it at this perfect time and plan for it. Or the more that they come up, it's just like naturally fitting your alignment. And so it's, for me, like we in Arizona, we all travel in the summer because it's freaking hot here. So that's the best living is when you go Euro summer and then you come back and live the rest of the year here. So almost everybody in my niche area lives similarly. So then we're gone in the summer. So we meet each other on trips and our life kind of overlaps that way. I don't align with the clients who are here through the summer all the time because I'm not here. I don't live the same way. I specifically pick my neighborhood differently. Like my friends are different in that nature. And so I think travel, even the timing of your travel, like changes who you align with. And I definitely live in an area like that.
Summer travel is huge here. Like, everyone's on vacation right now. You can't get anyone on the phone because everyone's on vacation.
Yeah.
But
Everybody's at the beach.
in the tri-state area, like that, I mean, I don't know. Europe is the best time to go to Europe is really in the summer, unless you're going to like a ski, like winter destination.
Yeah.
But like in my opinion, like if you want to go to all these like beautiful places in Europe, like the summer is the time to go. Not necessarily the spring. Some people might fight me on that, but like I lived in Barcelona and traveled around Europe in the spring, and it's just like it's not everything is open yet. Not everything is like in season yet. So you want to be there in the summertime. That's when like
Yeah.
it's popping off. And
Yeah, and you get the vibe. Yeah.
it's the time.
And I will say when you travel and you actually get to know whether you're traveling with people or get to know people, especially people in the service industry, like when you can get hooked up and go in summer and you're not waiting in any lines and you're getting a table and you're getting all the things and it's set up, like you're not dealing with all the crap that you normally do with summer because people are there. You're like, you can still get VIP service. And so that's what I want at home and on vacation.
And I want that everywhere. I just want the hookup
Yeah.
everywhere. And I make sure.
That's sometimes one of our things that we're like, if we're going to a brand new location and we know nobody, we're so used to just getting like our nice tables, knowing our people. They know our preferences. I'm like, we're gonna have to go wait in line. I'm like, are we
Yeah.
sure? I don't want to do that.
My sister and I are like the perfect people for that, because like we'll like repeatedly go to like the same place for like a drink or like and like
Mhm.
make friends with like the locals or something like that. So then like we're in with the locals type of situation.
Yes.
And that's also not always the case when you're with a large group of friends. I
No.
actually I find that in general, not even with travel, when I'm with large groups of friends, usually it actually doesn't matter. It could be with all girls or girls and guys combined. It truly doesn't matter. When it's a large group, it's harder to like build those types of situations for yourself because
Yeah.
with so many people, if you're with one or two other people, it's easy. Like so much can happen. You
Mhm.
can go anywhere, you could do anything because it's limited. Like it's you have three people. When you're with
Yeah.
a large group, no, you gotta spend a lot for everything.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Just getting a reservation somewhere. I'm like, just
Yeah.
go do your own thing. I can't deal with this.
Yeah, I remember it being real. Like we booked everything in advance last year before we even
Mhm.
went. And I'm not that kind of person. I'm like a kind of like, oh, I'll
Yeah.
figure it out when I get there. But you can't do that when you're with a large group of people. Now, if it's just me and my sister in Mallorca, we have nothing planned. But like it's just
Mhm.
the two of us. Like if we want to go on a boat one day, we'll just get on a boat one day.
Yeah.
It's two people. Like it's not going to be a problem.
Yeah, that's how DeAndre and I are. Like, we will book certain things if you absolutely have to in advance. But other than that, like, we want to wake up, and if we decide we're gonna lay by the pool and do nothing today, awesome. If we decide we're gonna wake up early, go to the gym, go do all of these other things, go meet friends, go out all night, and then do it all over again, we're gonna do it. And we want to keep those as open as possible because we've met some of the coolest people and stumbled into some of the coolest like stories that we have now because we just like showed up and started walking down the street.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. I feel like being spontaneous is just truly like the start of like having so many cool stories. I mean, literally, you are walking proof of that. I know we've like talked about you and DeAndre and like how you guys were
Mhm.
spontaneous. I know we've talked about it, but just like you want to tell our listeners one more time. But like you guys'
Yeah.
story is just like it inspires everybody, I feel like. Like it inspires
Yeah.
me. Like what if I'm in a random place and like I meet my husband because I just
Yeah.
decided to go to a random place for being spontaneous. Like so tell your little story in like
I
short terms.
Yeah. I think I needed spontaneity in my life and I was already planning a solo Bali month-long trip. And then of course I met somebody on Bumble who was like a Greek god and was exactly who I was looking for. And then we hung out that entire week. He drops me off at the airport and I'm like, well, this is so sad. Like we're not gonna I'm gone for a month, we're not gonna last. We have a few text messages like, I'm sorry, I miss you, whatever. We make some jokes. There's one ticket on the entire plane left. It happens to be next to me. And we were like, well, this
Chill.
seems like fate. Let's do it.
The one oh
He
wait,
gets the ticket.
pause. The seat being open to you on the plane is like like
It's insane.
it was supposed to happen. Like this shit is
Exactly. Like
crazy, you guys.
everything that should have gone wrong didn't. And
Yeah.
they're like everything should have worked against us. He was buying his ticket in like a 6 hours before we're leaving, met me in New York. He had to figure out his whole life and figure something out for a month. Like he had never been out of the country. Like, I mean, he'd been to Mexico. I don't really count that from here. But like that, he had to do so much and make a spontaneous decision and he made it. Like that's the hottest thing in the world. But everything. The seat next to me was open. It was a completely full flight, and the only person who didn't show up was the third person in our row. Like everything. We had weird flight mishaps, and I feel like there was a really scary situation that came up. And if he hadn't been there, like, I think some things could have gone wrong. Like, all these things aligned in ways, and then we learned so much, like a crash course of each other, living with each other, traveling, partying, meeting new people, just like chasing experience. We got scuba certified, like just a lot of really cool things that we did together that we came back and we're like, we know that we can work together. We're going to build a business together. We're building a life. Like we knew exactly the right raw conversations and questions to ask and then be like thrown into experiences. Like it was the perfect experience. I highly recommend it to anybody because I think that'll stress test your relationship.
And now you're engaged from being spontaneous. That's
Yes.
a telltale sign. I mean, no, but seriously though, I think that the best like outcomes of things in life are from being spontaneous. And like that is just like the whole takeaway here is just like, even if you are like me and you feel like you have like this like weird blockage, like I feel this on like a daily basis with random things. Like, yeah, I could be a little bit more easy and spontaneous like locally, but if like even if I have to go away for like a weekend, like away, I have to have like all my ducks in a row. Like I think I'm so over that. I think I'm so over having all my ducks in a row. Like I am maybe not all the time. I don't want to be like all the time, like just completely fucking off, but like I think I need to like sprinkle in a little bit more of just like slightly doing something and figuring it out later.
Yeah. I think there's so much value to just get started, figure it out, and knowing it's okay to pivot. In fact, it'll just give you more information and data to be able to like make the next move or the next attempt.
I agree. I think like on like a deeper level too, when you're so caught up in business, like I mean, I don't know, for me, I think like in the last 2 years things have just like really come pouring at me where I've been very overwhelmed, but also it's all great things happening. So
Mhm.
I've been very much so like consumed with these things and different opportunities coming from different places and just kind of like taking everything on at once and doing it alone. It's amazing. I mean, it's like I feel like I'm a completely different person now and in the best way. So having like all these things kind of change my life like that, you get sucked into it, but then you forget to like build yourself, like your own life. Like you're not your career, not social life, nothing like that. Like just you, your soul. Like what does your soul need? And that's very deep stuff and it like kind of confuses me sometimes when I try to like go in my head about that, but I I need to do like soul searching things in life. I think everyone always needs to be doing soul searching things
Yes.
'cause you should never just stay comfortable. But yeah, like with all this exciting stuff that's happening with my career, like what about me? And like despite that kind of stuff, I need to really
Mhm.
focus on that. And it's so easy to forget and get caught up in not just work, but social life and all everybody's things going on, like going to weddings and bachelorettes and baby showers. It's like, and then work, it gets very, your calendar fills up like that. But it's so important to focus on yourself. Not saying like that you should be rude and like just not
Mhm.
show up for your friends or things with work and stuff like that. Like you still need to be responsible, but I think it's so important to focus on you and your life and what direction you're going in, not just with work, but with just your life. And
Yeah.
I forget about that sometimes, but it's something that I think everybody probably needs a reminder on. So let this be your reminder to focus
Yeah,
on
I
yourself.
think that's an easy struggle for everybody to get into because there's so much that we can do now, and there's so much information at our fingertips that we get into like this paralysis mode where we're like, but we could be doing so many things to be growing and evolving or traveling or doing all these things. And sometimes we just see other people doing their own niche, their own hobbies, and you're like, is that for me? Like, I don't know. What am I doing? And it's easy to get caught in that spiral, and I've definitely been there in different phases of my life, and sometimes it's hard to catch it, but now I will catch it and be able to like change something, and there's like a little celebration where I'm like, ooh, I'm growing as a person, like, because I think that's
Wow.
just a natural occurring thought that's going to happen throughout our entire lives at different times for different reasons. And how can we remember what do I need for me as like who is my human being, like my soul? How is it always evolving? And how am I actually going to like physically work on that in the material world right now? And in those phases it's going to change, but how do I want to step into that? And sometimes I think we keep it internal. I notice that's when I kind of retreat into those. I'm keeping too many things internal and I'm not actually acting on anything. So
I
that's
get
something that
you.
I'm actively working on, where I'm trying to say my thoughts out loud in the mornings to be like, okay, at least it's an action. It's not just the inner monologue. I'm getting it out of my body. And if it goes somewhere, awesome. If not, oh well, I'm practicing.
Yeah, yeah. I think like this was a therapy session enough for me. I'm getting
Yeah.
everything out, like all the struggles, whatever, all the blockages. But I mean, just saying it out loud makes you like hear it instead of it just being in your mind. And then you're like, okay, like this is a real thing though. Like now I need to like actually take action with it. It wakes you up a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely does. I'm noticing more and more communication, especially internally to yourself, makes such a big difference, and you speak differently internally than like how you actually speak. And practicing to make sure that they start getting closer and closer together is a skill, and something that I am not good at yet and working on. But I think that's an awesome practice for anybody.
I agree. I think we can wrap up this part of the episode. I feel like that was like pretty solid, and I feel good about it. But
I feel great about it.
But we do have to wrap up with our hot takes as per usual. Do you have anything for us? Oh, I have one. But like this is so controversial and has nothing to do with any of it.
I can't wait.
And I'm like not even sure how much I even believe myself saying this. Like I've like made myself believe this, but I don't even know where this is coming from. I think sunscreen is a scam.
Yes. I
mean, like I was laying in the sun all day yesterday and I'm burnt. Like I don't even know if you can like fully see it. Like I'm actually burnt. So like there's definitely something that's definitely not great, right? But I don't know. I think that like even though sunscreen may prevent me from getting burnt, I think that there's like chemicals, poisonous things in it where like I've heard so many things from like legitimate like companies, labs saying that this isn't good for you. So I'm just like, well, now I'm confused because I've been wearing like an SPF on my face every day since I was 22. I never did prior. But up until that point, I always looked very young. I've never had wrinkles, none of that. Now I'm 31 and I still don't have any wrinkles. I still if anything, I think I look younger than I did when I was 21. I think I'm just healthier altogether. And I've never gotten Botox, never gotten anything. Like it's completely natural. But like, was that really the sunscreen or was that just me?
I feel like I struggle with this as well. Me and DeAndre are on the same page as you. We're like, I think it's scammy. I feel like the sun is good for you in doses, perhaps. Like, I don't think getting burned all the time is awesome.
Yes.
Both DeAndre and I are the type of people that if we do burn, it's rare if we do. If we do, it almost always turns into a tan afterwards.
Same. I feel like right now I look tan, but like when I touch it,
crazy tan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how we kind of are too. We both tan really easily. If we do get burned, which is rare, we tan anyway. I think I don't want to get burned. I feel like applying after a certain amount of time is good, but I also think the sun is good for you. Like I know a drastic change. The second, if I don't go out in the morning for just 5 minutes with sun, I'm a grumpier human being. Like
I know the sun is amazing for you.
Stand there.
Yeah.
Like it's not that hard. Like the sun is definitely good for you. So I struggle with that a lot. And I also know like it's 110, 100 plus out in the summers here. When you're putting on certain sunscreens, I know it's not all of them, but if you put on some, there's carcinogens and they start heating up and then they're soaking into your skin. That cannot be good for you. I think I would rather just have my skin in the sun.
Yeah, that like what like are there any studies out there where like maybe that's where the skin cancer is coming from? Like
that's something that I've also noticed, and I mean I'm sure because you have a ton of makeup products that are terrible for skin as well. I know that they have other lines that are better, but that's one of my other thoughts is it probably came from people putting so many different products, lotions, makeups, sunscreens. All of these have different products that are also overlapped on top of one another. Depending on where you are geographically, you could also be baking that onto your body.
Yeah.
And especially my thought for makeup, because I haven't worn any for like 2.5 years now. My skin is so much better now. And I will still have blemishes and different things, but it's at least for me visually, I needed to see my own skin. I struggled with even a little bit of makeup. Like I struggled. I needed to be one or the other. But putting any amount of makeup on your face, you're then blocking it from the sun. And I feel like if you're blocking it constantly from the sun, which is a vital part of life, that would be bad for your skin as well. So then I also have that myth.
Yeah, I'm very skeptical about all of it now. And like, look, like you said, like I don't want to burn, and that's not like my intention. But I feel like just completely blocking your skin from the sun, like I don't think that that's necessarily the right thing to do either. Like we were told so many things for so long,
Yeah.
and like I just kind of like was under the impression that, oh, I'll stay looking young forever if I wear sunscreen every day. This whole year, I have not worn sunscreen on my face. I don't look any different. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's only been 7 months, but like, I don't know. Oh, actually, it was more than that because I remember when I was traveling last summer, and so it's been like a while actually, like pretty much like a whole year. I really have not been wearing a lot of sunscreen on my face, and I noticed also for a long time that I don't know if this like goes hand in hand with it, but because I blocked my face from the sun for so long, if even if I wasn't wearing anything on my face, my I wouldn't get tan. Like my face would not get color the way my
Yes.
body would. And I was like, "Huh, that's also interesting. Like I have nothing on my face and I'm not getting color." I just like it was like harder for my face to get color than my body, and it looked weird. Like my neck and my face were pale, and then my body is
Mhm.
super tan. So I don't, and there was nothing on my face. So like
Yeah.
that's weird
I
too.
think it almost like can train because your body like naturally evolves with different things. So I think when you're overlaying it so often, your body actually like adapts to like, oh,
Yeah,
this barrier or like whatever is soaking in, chemical or anything is soaking in, your body is literally adapting and changing to it because you're telling it it doesn't need to have, I have no scientific words, but
yeah,
it doesn't have like the backing that it needs to block the sun at an intense level. It doesn't need to do that anymore.
I
And so
agree.
then when you don't have anything, it's like, ah, what do we do?
Yeah. Yesterday was the first day that I feel like my face got tan because I
You
wasn't
look
wearing
like you
any.
match.
Yeah, yeah. Like I feel like it's making sense now because I really haven't been wearing a lot of it. So I don't know, just a weird thing that I have no, like you said, I have no scientific backing on this. This is
Yeah.
just this is something I've observed and I've been hearing things about, and I don't know. There's like there's really like so many different people saying different things. Like of course your dermatologist is gonna like yell at you for not wearing
Yeah.
sunscreen, but I don't know. I think something's very sus there, and I'm not gonna be like fully getting burnt and putting my face in the sun all the time. If anything, I'll just wear a hat, but I'm not gonna put sunscreen on.
I like that. I like that a lot. The only reason I'm wearing sunscreen currently is because last week I got like a chemical, it's I think all the redness is gone now,
Oh, so
but
you
I
gotta be
got a like
careful.
chemical cool peel. And so I'm like, okay, well my skin is literally like I can feel the screen from like my phone. I can like feel that light
Oh wow,
but when
you
you
gotta be
first get it
careful.
done, because you have like your skin is like raw and fresh. And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, I feel it. So I'm like, okay, I kind of understand that. And I've been texting my esthetician girl. I'm like, I swear I'm wearing sunscreen because she knows I'm terrible about it. I'm like, but I also know that's not gonna last forever.
yeah, you
We'll
definitely
be
have to be
back in the sun
careful
again.
with that. Also, if there's like certain antibiotics that if or like medications that if you take and you're like in the sun, you'll like burnt to a crisp. I was on like
Mm.
doxycycline, something for my skin actually, and that's like a warning thing. Like, be careful in the sun. Like, wear sunscreen, wear a hat. And I saw this girl on TikTok actually. I think she was on doxycycline as well, and her doctor like warned her about the sun and like please do not go in the sun without like SPF or something, like a hat, whatever. Like the burn that this girl like this was like a 3rd-degree burn from the sun.
Ooh.
Like, we don't need that happening. So
Yeah, we don't need that.
I'm not gonna like put out here, don't wear sunscreen at all. Like obviously be
Yeah.
smart with it. Obviously be smart with it. But I feel like the everyday use of SPF, I don't think is great. And I don't think that obviously like everyday like maximum sun exposure is good either. Like there has to be some sort of middle ground here.
Yes. I think middle ground, I feel like that honestly leads into my hot take a little bit. I think people in general forget that there are all of these different guidelines or majority rules or studies done about people. We have to remember that we're all also different. So we kind of have to take some of things with a grain of salt and be like, okay, maybe the majority of people did get this reaction or did experience this. However, that doesn't mean it's for me too, and it doesn't just apply. So I think that's another case for even just making spontaneous decisions. You just have to try a few things and truly figure out what works for you. I think the most immediate way to try things is honestly with your own health and like especially with workouts, because you will notice and see a difference in a pretty quick way, especially once you start seeing like physical results. And I think that's a way to kind of train yourself to recognize or try to tune in to changes.
Yep.
I think that's really beneficial. And I see a lot of people that aren't doing that. And so they just kind of take concepts and they're like, no, this is law. This is exactly how it is. I'm like, well, does that apply to you? And they're like, well, the study said it. I'm like,
Oh,
okay.
yeah. You gotta experience the things for yourself to know.
Yeah,
Like you said, everyone is
do
different.
things.
I really do agree with that. I think like everyone should just try it with working out, because I think that that's like the first thing that like you can determine like what works for you and what doesn't. Like workouts, there's like the biggest cult followings for like every type of workout out there, but like running for one person could be like detrimental to the other. Like not everyone
Yes.
can run. Like not everyone is meant, their bodies are
Mhm.
not meant to be running bodies. I don't think everyone is meant to lift weights. I don't think everyone's meant to do Pilates. Like truly there's a thing for everybody. Like, and I explored this, I think over like the last 5 years, I've never picked up strength training ever until I think like 5 or 6 years ago. And I fell in love with it. Like, I think like, I mean, there's also like the whole scientific backing where like, I don't think you can actually change your body composition unless you strength train. I think that's like a proven fact.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always like tone and get leaner from other exercises, but like changing your body composition, like building a butt, like things like that.
Yeah.
But that's what I fell in love with, and it works for me. And like I can supplement other little workouts in, but I learned what works for me from trying everything. And the same thing with pretty much everything in life. I think that's like a really good hot take for sure.
Yeah, I love that one. I feel like that's the most kind of the easiest visual way to understand it. That's something that I'm thinking about constantly. I mean, every workout that I do, I'm not the kind of person, I've worked out my entire life in different ways, and I've always been a strength trainer, but I have played with different ways that I've done strength training or Pilates or the different things that I've combined together. And there have been phases of my life that I've gone through Olympic weightlifting, and I was like bulking phases and really leaning out. And now I'm to the point of life that because I've tried so many different things, I know what works for me, like you said. I know what I like, and I know what I hate. And even more importantly, I don't do that shit.
Yeah.
And it makes me happier.
Exactly. Yeah, like I think moving your body is like you have to. If you want to like live a long healthy life, you gotta. But finding out what works for you is key. And like rolling, like kind of putting this all back into like what our whole conversation was about. Like I don't even know if solo traveling is for me, but I won't know unless I try it. So I gotta just do
and I
it.
can't wait to hear.
Even if it's somewhere like just a road trip,
Yeah.
that's easier.
Like it could even be like a day or two night staycation, like somewhere just a little bit further away. Even that, do that.
I agree. Well, this was a great episode. I like loved this conversation.
I loved this a lot.
We'll see you guys next week. I'll talk to you.
Bye.
Bye.
That's a wrap on this episode of At the Table with Powerhouse Women. Thanks for tuning in. If you love today's conversation, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a review.
Your support helps us keep pulling up more seats at the table.
Want to keep the conversation going? Join the movement at powerhousewomen.com/society.
And connect with us on Instagram at Powerhouse Women.
Until next time, keep showing up, keep building, and remember, there's always room at the table for you.